What's up everybody, it's Mike from PC Classic Cars, back with another test drive video. Today we are in a 1967 Chevrolet C10 short wheelbase pickup with a fuel injected Ramjet 350 backed by a 4L80E overdrive transmission. Alright, so again we have a 67 C10. This is a true short bed pickup. There's nothing been cut on the frame. The bed is a true short bed. Unfortunately, I don't have the SPID decal in the glove box, so I can't tell you what the original options were on the truck, but we do know that it is a true short bed by looking at the frame and looking at the bed itself. The truck has a lot of really good mechanical upgrades. For starters, it has a fuel-injected Ramjet 350. They make right at 350 or so horsepower. They're an expensive setup. Buying just the motor itself, if you went online and bought it, it's like a $7,500 or $8,000 motor. And then you have the 4L80E overdrive transmission behind it. The guy that we bought it from said the customer, or the person who built the truck, bought it as a combo. Unfortunately, I don't have any paperwork for that. But looking at it online, you can buy them as a combo, and it's like $12,000 or $14,000, somewhere in that range, depending on where you buy it, and a couple little options. So an expensive motor and transmission setup. You do have factory AC that has been converted to R134A, and it does have a later model style like pancake compressor, so it puts a good volume of AC out. The heat also works. Headers, dual exhaust, aftermarket mufflers, sounds really good going down the road. All the exhaust is very clean. The truck is optioned with power steering, power front disc brakes, all of that stuff functions excellent. This is a truck you can hop in and cruise at 75, even 80 miles an hour without a problem at all. On the interior, you have a really cool custom two-tone gray interior. The seats themselves are like a bucket seat bench combo. It's a fold-down middle seat, so you could put a third person in here if you want to. It's all been recovered to match the door panels. Again, a custom interior to kind of go with the custom exterior of the truck. Generally, I like the factory bench seat or the factory bucket seats, but this truck is really cool. They did a really nice job on the interior. The black headliner, the visors, all that stuff is clean. Dash pad is nice. Really a good quality custom interior. You do have a aftermarket little console down here. You can flip up this little, or take this little cap off, and there is some electronic stuff in the center part of the console. And then it also has some lights on the lower portion as well. You do have some aftermarket switches. We'll dive into those when we get on the return trip there. You do have tilt, and you have classic instrument gauges, which also look really, really clean. I like the black backing of the gauge with the white arms, or the white needles and the white numbers. It's actually really easy to read and just a good gauge cluster. This truck is a short list of items that's not working. The fuel gauge isn't working, probably needs a new sending unit. It does have a tank relocated in the back underneath the bed, so probably needs a sending unit. And then it does have a cruise toggle here, but the truck, the cruise isn't doing anything. I don't even think it's set up for cruise. It just has an aftermarket cruise toggle. If you want to add cruise, you could. And then you do have tilt, like I mentioned, with a nice comfort grip wheel. We'll get on in here a little bit. Temperature gauge has come up good oil pressure. The 4L80E shifts really nice and positive. I don't know if it's got like a little shift kit in it, but it is more aggressive than it would be, at least just for me. It feels like it's got a little shift kit in it. Nothing wrong with that, just nice positive shifts. Motor's got great power, pulls down the road excellent. The underneath is very clean. Like a lot of these, the inner rockers and the front floors, or the floors right below your feet, that stuff's been done. But whoever did it with a purpose. It shows excellent. There's no rust issues on the bottom side of the pickup. Frame is excellent. Again, just very, very nice and clean, and no real worries on the bottom side. On the exterior, I don't know when the silver or gray metallic paint was done. Shows nice, a few smaller little flaws. It's a good straight truck. No bad body work or really major issues, just some imperfections and things that have been touched up over the years since it was done. It does have some aftermarket mirrors on it, match the outside of the truck. It does have a custom fuel door that's fabricated into the side of the bed on the driver's side. It opens and closes like a later model vehicle. That works properly. Again, it's got a fuel tank relocated underneath the bed, so it's not inside the cab here. It gives you the room for these aftermarket seats. Take a look at my additional infos tab on my website. If you click on the vehicle that you're interested in, scroll below the photos, you'll see my virtual description where I dive into some really good details on the vehicle. You'll want to watch that. There's the link for the test drive video, which is what you're currently watching, and then below that you'll see the additional infos tab. That'll have photos of motor numbers, transmission numbers if we can access them, photos of imperfections in the paint, and any other documentation that we have for any vehicle. So on this one, take a look at it. We have photos of the little imperfections in the paint, just minor stuff that I want y'all to see. Brakes work well, doesn't shimmy, doesn't shake. So this truck is optioned with power windows. That's what two of the switches are there in the aftermarket console. The power windows work well. The glass is all nice. Back glass looks good. You do have one little stone chip right here. Really minor. You could have it filled, but it's not splintering or spidering, just a small little stone chip right in front of the driver. So that's for the two switches on the right, or excuse me, on the outside for the windows. The two middle switches are going to be for power locks. This truck does not have any actuators inside the doors for power locks. You still have to use the key on the outside of the door to lock the doors, or you can lock it from the inside. When they built the console, they were going to probably add power lock, so you could go back and do that if you want to. There are two switches to do it in the future. You'd have to just wire it up, put some actuators in the doors, but the switches are there. Suspension feels great. Has been lowered a little bit, but it's not rubbing. Still has a really good, nice and tight road feel. Doesn't beat you to death. The 20-inch built specialties are a brand new wheel and tire combo. It's a little bit staggered in the rear for that nice aggressive look. You still get just a little bit of a rake with the truck. And again, it's lowered to my personal preference where it doesn't rub. If you have two people in here, you can still drive it and it's not hitting the front fenders. It's not rubbing going down this bumpy road. Driving position is comfortable. You have a tilt. There's plenty of room between you and the steering wheel. You do sit up a little bit proper with these aftermarket seats, but it's not an uncomfortable driving position in any way, shape, or form. It's still an easy truck to drive, and if you are a larger individual or taller, you have tons of room above you, and then if you put the tilt up, you have a ton of room getting in and out of this pickup. Wait for this little vehicle to go. You do have over the shoulder seat belts on the left and the right. Looks like there is a seat belt for the middle seat as well if you have a third person sitting in here. We're reading 4,724 miles. At least the backstory that I got from the gentleman out in Arizona was when they set it to 0 when they did the gauges in the motor. I don't have any paperwork for that, but just kind of judging by the truck and the backstory, it very well could have 4,700 miles on the driveline and the total pickup since they redid it. Again, no way to 100% verify that, but all of the mechanicals look very fresh and very new, so very well could just have 4,700 miles on the build. Absolutely love short bed C10 pickups. I sell a ton of them. Multiple ones come in and out of my shop every single month. They're just always fun. They're getting difficult to buy because they're getting expensive, but one like this that's already got all the stuff done to it, if I was going to personally keep this truck, I would go ahead and add the 67 C10 side trim to it. That's my personal preference. I love that side trim that comes on these trucks. It goes really well with the grille. I think with this custom color, the custom rear roll pan and the flat tailgate, I think having the factory side trim will just make the truck pop even more. But if you like them without side trim, it's not needed. The truck looks great like it sits too. It's already a fuel injected 350, which runs great. You got an overdrive transmission, you got air. Obviously there's a couple little things to do, like fixing the fuel gauge and maybe adding the power locks if you want those, but that's kind of personal preference. The fuel gauge is probably pretty easy. It just needs a new sending unit or just to be wired up properly. I didn't diagnose exactly what's wrong with the fuel gauge, but I don't see it being too terribly difficult to get it fixed. Interior turn signals work like they should. Turn signal switch is nice and crisp. It doesn't lag. And And as always, I appreciate y'all stopping in to watch another one of my test drive videos. If there's ever anything else that y'all want to see, have comments, concerns, questions, don't hesitate to leave a comment on my YouTube channel. Make sure you subscribe to get updates for all the content I am putting out daily. Make sure you also see the new virtual description on all the vehicles I am doing. It's going to be posted on the website. It's also going to be on our YouTube channel. It's going to have a lot of good pertinent information that I don't talk about in the test drive. Check us out at PCClassicCars.com, and we'll see you guys on the next test drive video. Thanks again for watching.